What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to the evening agenda. That's what Connor's named it. I didn't even know. I looked at the desk there and said evening agenda. How are we all? Nice to have you in. How are we feeling after the Afcon final last night? Obviously, it was heartache for Mohamed Salah, but absolute sheer delight for Sadio Mane and Senegal, who became the Afcon champions for the first time. It did go to penalties. We knew it was always going to go to penalties, didn't we? We certainly knew Egypt were going to be bringing it to penalties one way or the other. So yes, that's where we are. We'll have another show tonight as well. Don't forget, 8:45, myself, Chris Stoddage and Mr. Paddy Murphy will be live with the Cup of the Week show. Nice to see you all in. Reezy, BA, how are you? What's this I see? Did you guys hear that Astrid said she would have 8 shots to get with Paddy? Hey, I mean, I'm sure that could be arranged for Paddy. I mean, I'll buy the 8 shots if it gets Paddy's end away, you know, if it works for everybody. Good morning to you all, by the way. And don't be fooled by the time. It is morning in Craig's world. I'm only just out of bed. How are we all doing today? Lord Craig, how's everything doing? Tired? I'm good, my man. I'm good. Tired after yesterday, but good. Mo shouldn't start tomorrow. Nobody will be starting tomorrow, Hannah. There's no game tomorrow. Thursday is the next game we're playing in. And look, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later on tonight. But look, what I want to do... Oh, hang on. I'm a Man United fan. Where do I think we'll finish? I think for me, mate, it's between you and Spurs for the 4th place spot. So if you don't finish 4th, 5th, but one of those two. Jack and everybody else coming in, lovely to see you. Appreciate your time as always. I was just letting people know I'm still on morning time here. I'm still on, this is the first coffee of the day for me. I'm playing catch up, so yeah, get us launching. Look, ladies and gentlemen, before we get stuck into the Liverpool news and bits and pieces, want to just let you guys know that today's show has been brought to you with thanks to our friends at SPITCH. SPITCH is a fantasy football manager game that allows you to prove and test your football knowledge against other managers and win a share of the prize pool, which can be as high as £70,000 every week. SPITCH offers games from multiple leagues, including the Bundesliga, the Premier League, and of course, the Champions. You can create a brand new lineup every week with SPITCH, or you can come down, leave it one week, come back to it the next week. It's not one of these games like FPL where you've got to be right on top of it. It is entirely up to you how much time you spend with it. There are paid pitches, there are free pitches, again up to you which one you use. Once a match day kicks off, you will receive points based on things such as shots, tackles, goals, assists, all the usual stuff. There is a couple of little caveats I have to let you guys know about. You do have to be a UK resident, age 18 plus, and do have your ID ready for verification on sign up. Link in the description below. Thank you very much. Gents, ladies, how are we? You playing FIFA today, Craig? I think that's the plan, Samir. I won't lie, I haven't even looked at the schedule yet, but I think that's on today's schedule at 10, yes. So look, can we get a moment here for Sadio? Just a moment to congratulate Sadio Mane on winning or being part of the Senegal team, the first winners of the Afcon from Senegal. Massive achievement for them, and you can see what it meant to every one of them yesterday. And look, if you look through that Senegal team, it was just filled with talent, wasn't it? You had Ismaila Sarr in there, Sadio Mane in there, Koulibaly in there, Mendy in there, a couple of more players whose name escapes me at the moment, but they had a very, very good team. And I think throughout the course of the tournament, they deserved to become Afcon champions. And I was so happy for Sadio, obviously missing the penalty during the 90 minutes, that he got that redemption moment, the penalty to win the Afcon. It was a lovely moment for Sadio Mane, a very well-deserving man, a very well-deserving country. And of course, a heartbreak for Mohamed Salah and Egypt. But again, it was nice to see Sadio go over to console Mohamed Salah after the final whistle, because, you know, they're both class acts. So well done to both gents on a great tournament. Right, I think Mane needed this, said Carl. Yeah, it'll certainly be a great boost in the arm for Sadio Mane. You know, I wouldn't say that Sadio needs confidence, because he comes across as a naturally confident dude, but yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon for him. And I have to say, well done to those that organised the tournament. I thought, you know, every tournament will have a few bits and pieces that aren't great, but overall, I've thoroughly enjoyed watching the Afcon. The fans were amazing. I have to say, the fans, the colour, the vibrancy, the noise, it was class. So yes, roll on the next Afcon when hopefully it doesn't disrupt the season. But apart from that, you know, I look forward to watching the next one. I really do. Craig, have you heard what John had said about Jude Bellingham? I haven't. You know, I'm presuming that the old goes on the train. You know, I'm sure he wants a bit of choo-choo. Dortmund were whooped at the weekend, by the way. Did you see that? 5-2, I think it was, by Leverkusen. No Houlden in the team, but they were still whooped. It wasn't great. It wasn't great viewing, unless you were a Leverkusen fan. Next Afcon is summer 2023. There we go. So not too long. I mean, not too long for a shot of redemption for Egypt, and not too long for us to be able to watch another tournament. Will Salah win the Ballon d'Or after he lost? Said Samir. See, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I would be lying if I hadn't thought to myself that he probably needs that to win the Afcon to push his charge for a Ballon d'Or. I don't think it's right that he might not win one purely because of that. But ultimately, I do feel that the way the shitty voting of this thing is done, it could perhaps cost him, mate. But again, he's got a lot of season to play with Liverpool yet. And he could again take Egypt to a World Cup. They've got that playoff against Senegal in March coming up, home and away. Skull Crusher Brawl Stars, thank you, mate, for the super chat, but you didn't put any comment in. But thank you anyway, mate. You're very kind. What else have we got in the chat? Rafter, good evening to you. I have a little bit of news tonight, and I'm going to hang on to it till tonight about Fabio Carvalho, because I want to discuss it with Paddy and Chris first, because they don't know it yet. I have to tell them the information before the stream, so I'm going to bring that one up at 8:45 tonight, so don't go anywhere about it. Today was more a debrief of the Afcon, and to see how everybody's feeling again, and to just touch base after yesterday's FA Cup win, because I don't know about you guys, but I've seen that. I must have watched that Harvey Elliott goal now 30 times since yesterday. Just what a moment for him. I mean, for his first goal, to be the day he comes back after such a long injury. I mean, he came back in something like 156 days, which is just incredible. It just shows his determination, his work ethic, and of course the great work done by the medical staff and the physios at the club as well to get him back. Looking forward to Bournemouth destroying Everton. What a story that is. What a story that is. Bournemouth knocking Bournemouth out. And I think that was their first trip to the 4th round of the FA Cup yesterday. And then Bournemouth have now made it to the 5th round of the FA Cup for the first time in their history. So congratulations to them. That is this year's FA Cup story without a doubt. Well, if they knock Everton out of it, that'll be an even better story. But yeah, Everton fans are no doubt now thinking they're winning the FA Cup, because they've got a semi-simple passage through to the quarters, where I'm predicting it now, they get us. I'm predicting it now that we get drawn against Everton in the quarterfinals and break their hearts for another year. Well, that's what we do. Samir, how are you, my friend? Samir said, Craig, who do you think will win the Champions League? I think it's down to one of 3, maybe 4 teams. So obviously us. Bayern Munich, clearly great team. Manchester City, we can never rule out with the way they can blow teams away. And for the 4th team, I know some people are saying PSG, but I genuinely don't believe PSG will win it. Chelsea are the reigning champions. If they can get players fit and figure out how to put the ball in the net, I think they're going to be in with a shout as well. So for me, look, right now, if I had to put 50 quid on 2 teams, I'd be putting it Liverpool, Bayern Munich. That'll be where my money will go. Will Diaz start against Leicester? I don't know. I honestly don't know, mate, is the answer. I have this weird theory that only exists inside this very empty head of mine. I think one of them will start of Diaz and Elliott, and one of them will come off the bench. And I don't know which way around that will be, whether we'll get... I'd say more likely Harvey starts, get 60 out of Harvey, and then maybe bring on... I know there are different positions, I'm just thinking about the minutes more than anything else. But again, what a little cameo from Luis Diaz yesterday, and I don't know about you guys, but I certainly held my breath when he was down holding his knee. I was thinking, this is just their luck, and just his luck. You know, we get this guy in, really late in the transfer window. He's after flying all the way back from Argentina via Paris, or Colombia via Paris, and he gets a knee injury. But thankfully, it just looked like it was studs raked on his knee, and it wasn't something serious like an ACL or ligament damage. So, yeah, so that was a heart in the mouth moment for sure. What about Real Madrid? They have a big chance. I don't think so. I don't, honestly, I don't think so, Samir. I know they're top of La Liga right now, and I've watched a good chunk of La Liga this season, and Real Madrid's, you can never discount the old season pros. I'll give you that. And they're certainly capable of putting together an almost error-free two legs. I just think a team with pace and power will get at them. And I think Bayern Munich and Liverpool are those type of teams. And I feel like we owe Real Madrid one as well. So I wouldn't mind getting Real Madrid after we knock out Inter Milan. And by the way, we disagreed on this quite a bit, myself and Paddy and Chris. I've no worries about these Inter Milan ties, home and away. I know Inter Milan are doing great in Serie A, defending champions, yada yada, but I've watched enough of them to think we can absolutely tear these apart if we show up. So for me, I'm not worrying about Inter Milan in the Champions League either. I think I'd be expected to win home and away, if I'm being brutally honest with you. They've got pace and power at the back too, though. Who are we talking about here, Dave? I'm sorry, the conversation's moving on, buddy. I'm not sure. Are we talking about Real Madrid? They've got an ageing midfield, though, mate. You know, they've got an ageing midfield there. Cruz, Casemiro, even, you know, as good as he is, and he is good, Casemiro. I do rate him. And Modric, you know, they are getting on. So, look, you can never really discount any of the big boys in the latter stage of the Champions League because, well, you can. You can absolutely discount Manchester United because there's no fucking chance in hell they're going to win a Champions League if they can't beat Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. Did I say that they lost to Middlesbrough in the FA Cup? It wasn't 5-0, though. That's none of my business, though, is it? Real Madrid always turn up in the Champions League. Yes, they do. But, like, what do you want me to do? Sit here and go, we're getting beaten by Madrid? No point in showing up. That's not the way we do it. We show up, balls out, and say we're here to win it. Keanu said, Inter very tricky. Martinez is in fine form. They're not, though. They've got some technically good players, and they will be well coached. They will be rigid, but they don't have the firepower to hurt us. They don't. Van Dijk will pocket Lautaro Martinez. No problem. We'll destroy them with pace. I'm telling you. We will beat that Inter team over two legs. Don't you worry your ass about it. Start looking ahead to the next round. That's what I'd be doing. Ex McNugget, nice to see you back, dude. I hope you're well. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions that you have about all things Liverpool or whatever, please do let me know in the chat. Watching from Tanzania. That's class, Raheem. Lovely to see you, mate. Nice to have you in. Pleasure. Right, what else we got in? Oh, yeah, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video. I keep forgetting to say that, but appreciate it. We'll sail past Inter. Good man, Dean. Dean's on my bus for this one. If Porto got through, would Diaz have been able to play for us? Yes, Hannah, yes. There was a bit of confusion about that, all right. Even so much as in articles that I'd seen about it, but yes, he would have been. The rule changed a couple of seasons ago. Craig is tempting fate big time. Mate, I've had this said to me every single fucking time I had it said to me about Arsenal in the League Cup. Craig, don't go say we're going to beat them because we might lose. I'm not tempting anything. I'm giving my opinion, dude. It's my honest opinion. If we were playing Bayern Munich, I'd be saying to you, this is a 50-50 tie. If we were playing Manchester City, I'd be saying to you, this is a 50-50 tie. These are my honest views, Russell. They're not trying to wind anybody up or tempt fate. I've watched enough of Serie A and Inter Milan this season to just think it's a pale imitation of the league it once was. So yeah, that's my view. Honestly, I don't see any issues with Inter over two legs. I mean, they lost at home, by the way, in the Milan derby the other day. Did you watch it? Giroud was up top for AC Milan. Giroud! And he managed to bang in a couple. It was pathetic by them. They just capitulated. And that's against AC Milan, who, by the way, we disposed of rather easily home and away as well. So don't worry about it. We got this. Do I rate Dumfries? I wouldn't have minded him after the Euros, Samir, in all honesty. He was a player that stood out in that Dutch team during the Euros. And was a decent signing for them, no doubt about that. And let's not forget as well, no Nicola Barella, at least for the first leg. I'm not sure if it's two legs, but he's not there for their home leg. And he's a big impact in their midfield. Apart from Bellingham, what midfielder would you want us to sign in the summer? You know what? I'm slowly falling away from wanting Tielemans. Yeah. So I'm stepping back from the Tielemans thing. What midfielder would I want to sign? Basuma, I'd still take. I still think there's a great player in there. I don't know what his legal situation is, but I like Basuma. I think he'd fit into our squad. I think we need legs. That's what I'm saying. We need a midfield. I think we're going to have enough creativity with what we'll have and be bringing in. I think we just need another box-to-box midfielder. I'm still playing catch-up on Tchouaméni. I watched Tchouaméni the other day, when Monaco played against Lyon. Wasn't his greatest game, but, I can't judge somebody after one game, and I am still playing catch-up on Tchouaméni. I said that honestly. Renato Sanchez, I'm almost certain is going to go elsewhere, Russell. Either that or he just missed out on a deal in the January window, mate. I know last year, I told you this before, last year he was supposed to sign for Barca, then he got an ankle injury. But I'm sure I'd seen him linked somewhere. I don't know, maybe if it was Juventus. But it's everything that I've heard anyway, Russell, on Renato Sanchez has gone very quiet, mate. Very quiet. Do I rate Tsimikas? Oh, God, yes. I love Costa Tsimikas. There are some things he does that makes me a bit nervous at times. Like he tends to initiate a challenge ahead of the player. So he tries to nick in and win the ball ahead of the player. If that works out, it's great because he's on the front foot and we're way down the wing. If it doesn't work out, we're caught in behind and he needs to do some quick running to make up for it. But yes, look, for two left backs to have Costa Tsimikas and Andy Robertson, yes, I'm over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. A few shouts for Gravenberch there in the chat as well. I think the only real problem with Ryan Gravenberch is his agent. And yeah, obviously we know his agent's Mina Raiola, so that probably puts a pin in that one. Sorry, Craig, where did you get the video of Newland Dance? I want to add it to my presentation to make it less boring. I think we just Googled. I think his name's Dave the Alien, Matthew. Email us, Matthew, and I'll get Connor to send the file to you. Yeah, email us, mate. contact@AnfieldAgenda.com, and I'll make sure we get that file over to you, buddy. But I think it might be Dave the Alien or something like that, buddy. But yeah, I promise you, we'll send you over the link to it. What's this? Spence, Bowen, Bellingham in the summer. Yeah, Russell, on Bellingham or Bowen, mate. How are you feeling about Bowen? And other people in the chat as well. I asked Russell because he put it into the chat there. I'm all in on Jarrod Bowen, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I read an article last night on The Athletic, very late. I think the article was only live about a minute when I jumped on to read it. And it was about Rafinha. And the article went on to speak about some AI metric or some fucking formula that The Athletic had teamed up with this company to put all this information into a computer and simulate all these different things to see what club would best suit Rafinha's style of football. Anybody care to take a guess what club came out as the most fitting for Rafinha that he could go there, basically play and fit in straight away? I mean, I'll leave it for a sec so you guys in the chat can have a guess, but have a guess at what club. Nope, not Man City. None of the English teams. Nope, wasn't Real Madrid. No, it was none of the English clubs. The English clubs were actually further down the metrics than the club that he actually... No, not Bayern either. So you look at Bayern, they've got 4 young wingers. They don't need Rafinha. Yes, Juventus, Quinch, that was it. It was Juventus. Which shocked me. But yeah, apparently Rafinha's style of play and his metrics match up very well with Juventus. So, yeah, there you go. Apparently Juventus are the ones who are best suited to Rafinha. Jen, how are you? Howard, how you doing? Love the love between Mo and Mane last night. Hope they both get contracts now. Yes, I mean, look, Jen, I said this last week as well, and thank you as always for your kindness, Jen. I'd love the three of the lads to get new contracts for the time being and reevaluate this in a year or two's time. Because look, imagine Salah, Mane, Diaz, Jota, Firmino. I mean, you're not going to get a better five for the next couple of years. So for me, I'd be all over that. But yeah, I was very surprised to see that Rafinha's metrics line up so well with Juventus. So yeah, Bowen for me. I think Bowen is the right fit. I do. I think Bowen or Harvey Barnes. They're the two. And I've been banging on about Harvey Barnes for years now. But they're the two that I'd like to see added into Liverpool. And don't Pedro Neto, I know he hasn't been playing, but I've always thought Pedro Neto was another one that would fit in very well, and I suppose would follow on with the Portuguese influence. Oh, you got it, Matthew. Nice one. That's not how contracts work, though, Craig. They'll both want 4-year contracts. But Jamrock, I didn't say not give them 4-year contracts, mate. I said give them contracts and we review it in a year or two. Meaning, look at the situation again. So, let's say you give them both a 4-year contract. Let's say the three of them, Jamrock, in a 4-year contract. I'm being the club here, right? So, I'm not being their mate. I'm being the club. And I'm looking at it going, right, 4-year contract for Mane, 4-year contract for Salah, 4-year contract for Bobby. And if I'm the club, I'm looking at it in a year to 18 months' time, knowing that if the club there wants to move them on, they have secured some value. And they can move them on. If they're still maintaining top level performance, then we don't have to worry about anything. They're there. So for me, getting rid of them now with a year to go is minimising our value. And also making it difficult for us to replace. So for me, I would like to almost sacrifice a summer signing. Certainly an attacking one. I'd be very happy to sacrifice any new attacking signings if we tie them lads down to contracts. And then we look at midfield and potentially right back. That's what I mean by in a year or two. I don't mean give the lads a 1-year extension. You're right, nobody signed that. Once you get that type of contract, if there is any downturn in form, a number of clubs will not A, want to pay the wages, B, less. But see, here's the thing, mate. And look, I love that you challenge me. I genuinely do. It makes us both sharper. I appreciate it. But you have to do one of two things, mate. You have to either cut your losses now and sell not getting market value, or you keep them on, let them run the contract down. None of those are really appealing, are they, for the club? So for the club, if we can renew them, we'll still move them on. There will still be a buyer for a 31-year-old Mane, for a 31-year-old Firmino. I'm absolutely positive about it, mate. Just look at the moves that other players have made at that age. Some of them for big money. Sadio Mane, after just winning the Afcon as well with Senegal, his brand and his awareness in the world shot up even more. So we bite the bullet now and move on one of Firmino or Mane. Right, so let me ask you this. And again, love the conversation, dude. Genuinely love it. Let's say we do move one of them on. You know, pick which one. For this conversation, I don't think it really matters. Let's say we move on Bobby as an example. So we have to replace Bobby Firmino. How do we go about replacing Bobby Firmino? It's a gamble. Right now, I get where you're coming from. We've got 3 players who are 29 or 30 with regards to Mane, Firmino, Salah. We've got 2 25-year-olds in Jota and Luis Diaz. So their age, perfect. Nobody's going to complain about that. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from, that we've got to do something about the age profile of those final 3. I just think the way that I've suggested would be more beneficial to the club in protecting values. But I'm absolutely open to the possibility of one of them moving on like you've suggested and then bringing somebody in. I'd be a little bit nervous about who that person is. But there again, have I got a right to feel nervous? Because the club have shown, Klopp has shown, Linders has shown, Kravitz has shown that we're pretty good at replacing. I love Bobby, but I'd move him on along with Keita in the summer. Oh, Keita's the one that I think is going to be the most difficult to get a consensus on amongst fan base, because like I went from being Keita's number one cheerleader defender to middling to I'm not sure to now I'd sell him. Even though like he's back fit at the minute, I'd sell him. I would. I don't think we're ever. And the reason I'd sell him is, unlike Mane and Firmino, who I will absolutely give a 4-year contract to because I know that they will be fit in 4 years and playing, I don't know how comfortable I'd feel if we gave a 4-year contract to Keita and then, let's say in April, he picks up an injury that finishes him off for the rest of this season and we hear he'll be back in pre-season. It would just feel like, yeah, we've been here before. But we can't ever accuse Mane or Bobby Firmino of being injury-prone players that have gone missing in times of season when we really need them. They've always been there. So if anything, I think they're deserving of that contract as well. So yeah, for me, I couldn't feel comfortable with the club giving Keita a new deal. I mean, I just don't even see how we can say he's earned it, if we're being really, really blunt about it. Great player on his day, but we already have one of those great player on his days in the squad who needs to be managed, and that's Thiago. And he's Thiago. Do you know what I mean? He's Thiago. Jamrock said, keep saying this, there are only a finite amount of games in the season to tell somebody that's used to playing 30 to 40 games to now play 15 to 20. There is no 15 to 20 though, dude. There's 60 to 65 games in the season for a club like Liverpool. And if you've got 5 players and 3 of them need to play, the odds are you're probably, again doing quick maths here in my head, you're probably going 65 games, everybody's probably going to get 35 games. So there is no 15 to 20 games, mate. They're all going to get 30, 35 games. And that's even allowing for a couple of the kids coming in for the cups. And on top of that, then, these lads have international football and stuff to go and play as well, and a World Cup coming up next year. What have we got? I've gone too that way with Keita. Used to always defend him, but could never be our 25 to 30 million pound player to move on. Yeah, I'd move him on. I'd move Oxlade-Chamberlain on as well, by the way. I think we need some younger legs into midfield now, because that's a position where we need fresh legs. We need people with an engine. Like Hendo, that's Hendo's biggest asset, was Hendo's biggest asset. I think he's on the wane a bit now, but I think that's to be expected, and I think that was planned for. For me, I think we just need legs. We need legs in midfield right now, whether that's young Jude Bellingham or whomever. Banter FC said, if we sell Bobby, Taki, Origi, Naby, Nico, Nat and Ox. Okay, so Origi will be going on a free. Nico, yeah, we'll get some money for him. Naby, we could get enough money to get a striker, midfielder and a backup right back with incoming of Carvalho. I think that'll be enough quality and depth. There isn't a name on that list outside of maybe Bobby that I would disagree with you on. I think it will be a fair assumption to look. And look, everything that we're reading, by the way, and I'm sure you guys are the same, suggests that it's going to be vicious this summer. Like, there are going to be some big calls made this summer. Victor, my friend, how are you? Said, my bald-headed guy, Craig. Love you, mate. Love you too, pal. Do you think Salah should take the pen? By the way, rumours that Dybala wants to come to Liverpool, just got Zakaria and Vlahovic. Yes, I'd read the rumours about Dybala. I think his wages will probably put us off that move, and the fact that he's a bit injury prone and he's now 28, not really the profile of player that we go for. But if you were to sell Bobby or Mane and you wanted to bring in a replacement and wanted to cheap ass it and just cover wages, you never know. I mean, I'm sure that there will be a conversation there at some point. Who do I think should take the penalties? I don't know. I'd be lying if I said the way Salah takes penalties doesn't make me nervous. But then again, has he missed one? So, yeah, I mean, there's no need to nitpick at it. Leave it be. We've also got Fabinho, who's more than capable of taking a penalty. Mane, you know, he missed one during the game yesterday, but made up for it with unbelievable pressure on him for the one he scored to win it. Thiago's very injury prone. Would you let him go, Craig? No. So that's what I was saying, Michael. We have 2 of those players in the squad right now, Thiago and Naby Keita. And for me, I'm a bit of luxury. I'd allow it to be Thiago. So that's the one. And again, his contract situation is longer than Keita's situation. So if we're going to have a luxury player that, maybe we only wheel out for latter stages, Champions League, big league games, kind of wrap up in cotton wool, it should be Thiago for me, because he's Thiago. And I don't think there are many footballers like Thiago in the world. Somebody who can truly dictate the game and rhythm. Every time Thiago comes on the pitch now, I have that song, The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You, that goes through my head now, as well as his old song, but yeah, that, the rhythm is gonna get you, the rhythm is gonna get you tonight. That's what goes on in my head when Thiago plays. Hendo should play a sub role now like Milner does. Yes, I would imagine that is the plan, Rich. James Milner moves along in the summer, and Jordan Henderson then becomes that real senior pro that come on the last 20 minutes to see out a game, or play in a difficult away Champions League group stage game, these kind of things. Craig, thoughts on rumours Pep is going to extend? Yes, I have read the rumours that there's a feeling amongst Manchester City players that Guardiola may extend by a year. I mean, that's not really our business. If he extends, he extends. If he doesn't, he doesn't. I'm more concerned about our own manager, to be honest. I'd love to hear some news about Kloppo extending past 24. Would have liked another team to win Afcon like Cape Verde or one of the smaller nations. Yeah, look, Burkina Faso were brilliant. I really enjoyed. I watched two of their games: the semi-final against Senegal and the third, fourth place playoff, and I loved the way they went about it. I do. I love the way they went about it. Thiago can teach our young players he's worth staying. Exactly. Yes, that's a very good point as well. I mean, imagine Harvey Elliott and the likes learning off Thiago. Just even about positioning, body movements, weight on both feet, how to shift your balance, all these kind of things. Can we just, again, I know people missed the start of the video maybe, but Harvey Elliott, to get back as quickly as he did from that injury in September, I think it's 156 odd days for him to be back and to get on the pitch, and to not just come on the pitch and run around and look, la la la. He came on the pitch and he impacted the game massively, and he scored an absolute belter of a goal. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him like he was my own relative. And I'm so happy for the future, because this kid is going to be a Phil Foden. He's going to be a Mason Mount. Maybe even more. He is absolutely supreme, sublime. It just, very rare you get the whole package. The human being and the footballer. And this dude is both. And, you could see what it meant to Klopp as well. And how much it meant to Klopp that he was back. And the part where Klopp was a bit down and he said that Elliott came up to him and said, "Don't worry, Gaffer, I'll be back playing soon." I mean, I fucking love the kid. I do. I love everything about the lad. Did you see the video of his father celebrating the goal? I didn't, but I heard his father will shed a tear of happiness, obviously. His father, lifelong Liverpool fan, I think it was 15 years ago, I think he brought Harvey to his first game. And look, I'm a father, I have a son. I can only imagine that feeling of, your son scoring in front of the Kop. Yeah, it must have been a beautiful moment for his family. And again, well deserved for all the sacrifices that both Harvey, of course, and his family will have made for his football education. So yeah, well deserved, class act all around, and very well brought up young man. If we move 2-3 players in the summer, any possibility for Haaland? Yeah. It looks like the Haaland race is down to the Premier League. The reports have been that Real Madrid have pulled away from it. They feel Mbappe is their best chance this summer, and they're pulling away from it. So you're really looking at Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea perhaps, and us. And look, if you're looking at those four, you're probably thinking Manchester City is where he's going to end up, because I can't even entertain the idea of him at Liverpool in my head, because it just leads to sadness, because it's probably not going to happen. But imagine if it did. Oh, fuck me, imagine if it did. Oh, yeah. I just hope he's clever enough not to go to United no matter what happens, because many a player lately has been fooled on the outside by thinking that shit show is still a huge club, and that anybody knows what's going on there. I mean, if he has any sense, he'll stay away from Old Trafford for a start. But the idea of him at Man City is scary. Hulle has told Haaland to sign for Liverpool. Yeah, oh, I wish he listened to Ruud Hulle. I wish he did. And I wish there was a way we could deal with Raiola and get young Haaland in, because... Or let me just run this up the flagpole. Let's say, in this dream scenario of all of ours, one of our forwards gets moved on. Haaland comes in and Bellingham comes in. That's it. Job done. Don't need to do anything else. Don't need to do anything else for the next 3 years, maybe 2.5 years. Oh, just thinking about it now. Oh my God. Alisson rolls it out to Van Dijk. Van Dijk plays the ball across to Canade. Canade into midfield to Thiago. Thiago gets his head up, rolls the ball across to Jude Bellingham. Bellingham, diagonal ball over the top, out left-hand side. Jota pulls it into the back post. Haaland's there. It's 1-0. I'm already, can already... Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, it's not going to happen, but it'd be nice. Neto or Doku? Who would you take? Neto. Neto for me. But I know the club have looked at Jeremy Doku for a long, long time. It still doesn't feel like he's ready, if I'm being honest. But Pedro Neto for me, I know he's had a very long time out with injury and that, but there's something about him. He's got that Diogo Jota fighter quality about him. Yeah, and there in the chat, Brandon said Trent crosses to Haaland. Trent, by the way, 15 assists already this season, I believe, equaling his own record. The man's a machine. So can people please stop comparing him to other right-backs, because it's disrespectful to Trent. And it's disrespectful to these right-backs who may actually start to delusionally believe they're as good as Trent. They aren't. Trent he's just a freak of nature in a positive way. After the Luis Diaz signing, maybe you should go on a rant to get Klopp to keep FSC need to put the cash. That was just coincidental, buddy. Purely coincidental, but yeah, that was a signing that I have to say, Luis Diaz. I was very late to understand how good he was. Very late. I mean, right up until 2 weeks before, I was saying I'm not sure about this guy. And it was my own ignorance. It was my own ignorance 100%, because I hadn't paid enough attention to him outside of the games we played and a few little bits and pieces I'd seen. But the more I started to look into it, the more I read about his background, the more I looked into the style of football he has. I mean, I was so very wrong. He's the perfect fit for Liverpool. And I don't say this very often, but you don't get what you deserve in life a lot of the time. But he deserves this, and he'll be idolised by the cop 100%. Jota, best mate is Neto. Don't be doing that to me, Rich. Don't be doing that to me, mate. Diogo, if you're watching, mate, you could be busy on a FIFA stream right now, but, Pedro, Neto, me, you, and FIFA, we sorted out all transfers. I'll get the deal sorted for you. I'll pass it all on then to Julian Ward, but, me, Pedro Neto, Diogo Jota, little FIFA stream, we'll chat it out. We've got private, but we'll discuss it, anything you need, all the Jaffa cakes you want. Would I take Isco? I swear I've been asked that question on every transfer window stream that I've done on this channel about Isco, and the answer will still be no, because I think Isco will be 94 and still playing for Real Madrid legends. He's linked away every window and he never goes anywhere. But I still think Carvalho will be better than who? Moyers. And look, again, tonight, 8:45, I'll give you more Fabio Carvalho news. I just have to fill Chris and Paddy in on it first. So, yes, don't forget about that one tonight. Craig, have you seen Diogo Jota's Liverpool team on FIFA? He streams on Twitch. I heard he has the actual Liverpool team, which is proper order. Proper order. I read Diaz didn't even play any sort of organised football until he was 17. So, there is a really good story on The Athletic about this, about his background, that I'd suggest that you read. I mean, I'm not going to try and relay it again, because off the top of my head I'll make a mistake, but put it this way, he had to fight to get where he is, Diaz. Make a lot of sacrifices, like a lot of players from African, South American countries that, they grow up with a level of poverty that we would never understand. A lot of us wouldn't understand. Yeah, so he deserves it. These lads deserve it. Thoughts on Fabio Carvalho? As I said, Hakeem, 8:45. You will get all the thoughts you want on Fabio Carvalho. I just have to cross-reference one or two things before I can blabber. But yeah, don't miss tonight's stream. I promise you. I'll give you your Fabio Carvalho information. Craig, thoughts on Lawrence Karius out of the Premier League and Champions League squad? I think the club, for his own good, should have released him so he could go get another club. You know, if another club wanted to take him, pay him up his contract, but release him, because it's clear Liverpool aren't going to need him between now and the end of the season. You know, we've got Jamie Carragher, we've got Adrian, and we've got Pitaluga, obviously with Alisson. So yeah, there's no need to it. There's no need to keep him here just for the sake of it. Let him go find himself a new club, and you know, he still has time to build the rest of his career. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go get more coffee and get some stuff done. Of a few journalists to cross-reference one or two bits of it. I will see you, lovely people, at 8:45 tonight for the Cup of the Week, my favourite stream of the week, which is going to be myself, Paddy Murphy and Chris Stonage. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button before you head off. Drop a like on the video, and a massive thank you to our sponsor, SPITCH. Fantasy football manager game that allows you to prove your knowledge and pit your wits against other managers to win a share of up to 70 grand each week. You do need to be 18 years or over, a resident of the UK, and please have your ID ready on sign up. The link is in the description below, and you can also click the second link, which will bring you to the SPITCH community, where you can join particular leagues and find out more information on what's going on. Thank you to SPITCH, thank you to you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.